Let's talk about the truth about plateaus when the scale stops moving. You did everything right this week, and the scale didn't budge. And before you panic and throw away your diet, please listen to this. Because I know that gut-wrenching feeling of stepping onto that scale first thing in the morning, praying for a win, only to see the exact same numbers glaring back, or being even higher. You tracked every single gram of food with precision, hit your daily step goals, pushed hard in the gym, and yet your reward is a completely flat line. It feels like a deeply unfair slap in the face, and your brain immediately starts whispering that you should just give up and raid the pantry. You start thinking that your body is uniquely broken, that the laws of science do not apply to you, and that all the sacrifice is completely pointless. But here I am. I'm talking to you directly from the trenches of my own journey to tell you that a stalled scale has nothing to do with whether you are losing fat. And we have to destroy this toxic and unrealistic idea that weight loss is a smooth, beautifully linear downward slope on a chart. In reality, your body is a highly complex and adaptive biological machine and not a simple smartphone calculator app. When you step on that scale, you are measuring bones, organs, muscles, undigested food, and a constantly shifting pool of water. And water weight is the ultimate trickster, completely capable of masking weeks of genuine fat loss behind a wall of temporary fluid retention. Think about what happens when you go to the gym and lift weights to protect your muscle tissue from being broken down. Then you create microscopic tears in those muscle fibers, which is exactly what you want. But your body responds by rushing fluid to the area, and it does that to heal. So while your caloric deficit is successfully melting away actual body fat, your muscles are holding onto extra water to recover. On paper, the scale stays completely flat, but underneath the surface, your body composition is actively transforming into something much stronger. And the exact same frustrating phenomenon occurs if you happen to eat a meal that is slightly higher in sodium or if you are dealing with daily life stress. High stress spikes will also bring your specific hormone called cortisol, which acts like a biological sponge, forcing your cells to hold onto like every single drop of fluid. You might wake up tomorrow morning weighing a full kilo more than you did yesterday, sending you into an absolute spiral of panic. I had it this week. Today is one of the lucky days I'm back to my lowest weight I ever had in years. It's another tiny, but still another record today. But you should have seen the 2 days ago. It was almost 2 kilos more. But it's physically impossible to gain a kilo of pure body fat overnight, unless you somehow manage to consume an extra 7,000 calories. And unless you secretly woke up in the night and demolished 3 entire large pizzas by yourself, that sudden gain is just water, glycogen, and waste. And we have to stop letting a cheap piece of glass and metal on the bathroom floor dictate our mood or our self-worth and our choices. It is merely a single data point in a very long experiment, and without proper context, that number means absolutely nothing. And if you decide to give up right now, out of sheer frustration, you are actively sabotaging yourself at the exact moment right before the breakthrough occurs. And you know this self-saboteur that a certain mama is always talking about? Your body often holds onto fluid inside the newly emptied fat cells, stubbornly maintaining its old volume until it realizes you are committed to this. And then, after days or even weeks of absolutely no movement, you suddenly experience a massive drop in weight over a single 48-hour window. The fat was burning away steadily every single day, but the scale only chose to show you the truth once the temporary fluid was finally flushed out. And you need to develop a stubborn and almost irrational level of mental patience that can easily outlast the psychological stubbornness of your biology. So start paying attention to other and much more reliable signs of progress, like the way your jeans loosen up or the rising strength numbers in your workout log. Look at the way your daily energy is returning, how much easier it is to hit your walking targets, and how your face silhouette is sharpening. And I talked about my t-shirt sizes before. And I bought some short trousers because it's getting really hot here just 2 months ago. And even the belt can't hold it up much longer. And if you're being honest with your tracking and keeping your movement consistent, the fat simply has no choice but to drop off according to physics. So stop looking at the scale every morning like a gambler looking at a slot machine. Keep looking at it every morning, but not like a gambler looking at a slot machine, hoping for an instant jackpot to validate your hard work. Take a deep breath, realize that your body is working through its own internal timeline, and keep executing your daily tasks with precision. The scale will always eventually catch up to the reality of your discipline. So keep showing up and refuse to let a temporary plateau break your resolve. It won't happen to me, and it shouldn't happen to you.